Jalen Laura threw a pass, huge pass, complete to Calvin Jackson for 3 yards to the 8. So this was actually, hey, you've thrown a big fumble. Now you're throwing for actually, it was a 48 pass, but then 48-yard pass with another 3-yard pass after that, and they're already in scoring position. Wow, this has been an exciting game for one that is an unranked team versus a team that's ranked 3. I mean, I'm just saying. Jalen Laura was actually sacked this time by Kevin. Don't know how to pronounce his last name. Thibio Ducks. Gets a loss of 9 to Oregon 17. 3rd and 16, Oregon 17. They weren't able to get anywhere, actually, backwards. Washington State just took timeout. Clock is stopped at 8:39. Left in the 4th. There weren't.
Ethan, you got so you can get back up.
There weren't very many upsets compared to the past couple of weeks. There were a few. You look at probably the most common one, which actually was mentioned in the comments already, with the Oklahoma game when they lost to Baylor. But there was one other matchup today that I really considered an ups. Well, I mean, there were two. There were two other upsets. Some people said that the Texas Longhorn and the Kansas Jayhawks, that game was an upset. Yeah, but they're not top 25 ranked, so I don't really care too much about them. But I think really where my upset, the one other upset today, was Missouri State. They beat number 17th ranked Auburn 43-34, giving Auburn their second loss of the season. Some other noticeable matchups. Utah ends up beating Arizona 38-29. Georgia kept a competitive game. Well, I say it was a competitive game, but it was a competitive first quarter against Tennessee. The final score of that was 41-17. Georgia ended up winning that. But Tennessee won the first quarter, making it 10-7. To give you guys a game break update, San Diego State University right now is now losing to the Nevada Wolfpack. 21-20. Nevada just scored their last touchdown to actually put them to have a 1-point lead out in the fourth with 9:57 left in the fourth. They are back on the field. Jaden Laura just threw an incomplete pass attempted to Deshaun Zerby. And that actually brings up a fourth down. It's 8:35 left in the fourth, so you do have plenty of time. You kick it, try to go for it, try to kick the field goal here. That would put you in a 1-point possession. That's actually what they did. That kick was for 34 yards, and the field goal is good. Score right now is 24-17. Oregon on top, and we have hit commercial break. There was one college football game. Man, it surprised. It was in the top 25 game, okay, by either teams. But it was so high. It was so high today that it was higher than two, not one, but two of men's basketball matchups. There were literally no defense at all. I mean, Florida, I can't remember who they were playing against. Florida ended up scoring. They ended up winning 70 to. Again, trying to pull it up, but can't seem to find the game. Florida ended up winning it. It was like 70-56. But I can't remember who. Oh, it was Sanford. They won 70-52. It was higher that the loser of this football game scored more points than men's basketball Rutgers. Rutgers in men's basketball. They ended up winning. Rutgers won today, scoring 48 points in men's basketball. But they scored less than Sanford's football team. That's just to give you an idea that this was another game that was completely crazy. We do get another comment, and this one was from Isaiah Leung. Hey Nate, hey Isaiah, how are you doing over on your side of things? So again, while we are on our commercial break, check over on the Utah State versus San Jose State, which actually that was the game that I was going to talk about yesterday, but I made up my mind a little bit last second because I wanted to see how close Oregon versus Washington State University was going to be. And looks like Utah State is up. They're winning right now. The fourth quarter has not started yet for them. And they're winning Utah State's winning right now 37-17. Maybe I'll finish that up. I haven't decided yet, but maybe I'll finish it up after Washington State versus Oregon's done. Lucas Dunker kicked it out for 64 yards, and looks like the guy that's covering Michael Wright returned for 33 to Oregon 34. First and 10, Oregon 34. And the score right now, it's 24-17. Oregon has the ball at their own 34, 1st and 10, with 8:31 left in the fourth. If they were able to, I want to see this upset. I mean, okay, it's not me being biased as all. Anthony Brown just threw a pass complete to Travis Day, but this actually was a loss for Oregon 30. I'm not being a Washington State fan, even though they are here in over here in this area, in the Pacific and Washington area. But if Oregon takes another loss, that's going to be big when it comes to the rankings. I'm curious to see how this is going to. Oregon will drop if Oregon loses. Anthony Brown threw another pass complete to Chris Hudson. And this one was 18 yards to the 50-yard line. Gets the first down. It's now 24-17 and 7:35 left in the fourth. They decided to hand the running back. They gave it to the running back Travis Dye, and he does get a good gain of 5 yards to Washington State 45. It's now 2nd and 5 with 6:55 left to go. Clock is still going down, and right now, both teams actually have all their. Washington State took one timeout, so they have 2 timeouts left to go. I can see them starting to use that here late in the game. And they decided to hand the ball again to Travis Dye to the Washington State 42 for a first down, but there was a penalty. Penalty ended up being a face mask, which that's going to be huge for Washington because they actually end up losing. Huge for Oregon, pretty much seals the deal, to tell you the truth. And Byron Cardwell ran for 27 yards, gets the touchdown. So that puts them up. They're now up 30-17. This is now back to a 2-point possession game. And the extra point's good. So, 31-17. If I was Washington State, to tell you the truth, if I was Washington State, score here, try to score as fast as you could. Go with the onside kick because you're now down 2 possessions. But I would mainly go with the passing game. Passing game here because, his stats, they're not terrible. They're better than what Brown's doing. 17-29. Does have one interception. Got there for 261 yards and a touchdown. I noticed Anthony Brown's has been more of a running quarterback this game. But Washington has been able to score their points with their passing. So I would continue that. Just give you a game break right here. Nothing has changed. Nevada is currently still up over San Diego State, 21-20. But this time there's 8 minutes left to go in that ball game. 8:24. It's left in the fourth. Still on commercial break. I'll go ahead and give my picks for tomorrow. I think that I'll go ahead and give my picks for tomorrow, which actually I did over on the Monday on the ASAP Football Frenzy. But go ahead and do that again. You start off, you have the Saints and the Titans. A couple of things have changed. Quarterbacks have been hurt. I mean, guys coming back, things like that. A lot of those stuff have changed. And one thing that we do know for sure is that Julio Jones is on the IR. Julio Jones is on the IR. Is going to be missing for at least 3 weeks. Derrick Henry out. I don't see, even though the quarterback for this one, Jameis Winston, is also hurt, I still have the Saints winning this. Because there's one guy that is out there. I feel like he has been. No, actually, I take that back. I was going to have the Saints winning this because Alvin Kamara. But Alvin Kamara is also not going to be playing that game. So I'm actually going to go with the Tennessee Titans. I think A.J. Brown is going to be a key factor, going to get a lot of points. Honestly, he's probably the one guy He's probably the one guy I would start if I were to start anybody on this game in fantasy, would be A.J. Brown. After that, you have the Buffalo Bills. They play the New York Jets. I have the Bills, but I think it's going to be a close game. And this might come as a surprise to you, but surprise to some people out there. Jets are the home team, and I get it. Buffalo also plays in the same area. They don't have to travel far for this game. Josh, but again, it's the Jets. Jets probably gonna lose this game. Those are gonna be coming back from what the complete devastation, the complete embarrassment that they had last week when they played the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that they're going to come back and take a W on this, as right now they are showing a couple of highlights from the Oregon game. They're showing how Cardwell has been throughout this, been a key factor for Oregon. Okay, so we're actually going back to this. Is Jayden de Laura threw a pass complete to Calvin Jackson Jr. I kind of got a little bit distracted talking about tomorrow. But we do have a lot of comments that just flew in through it. And KJ Boulding says, "Hey, Nate, do you think OU has a shot in the playoffs if they win out, or is it late taking a loss in November?" No, I think that they have a shot at a high bowl game. And I'm only saying that because Oklahoma ended up winning. Not Oklahoma. Ohio State ended up winning today over Purdue. What happened to them? What just happened to them to score? It says Dalton Richardson. Oregon just put a touchdown on them. So currently the score is 31-17. There was a little bit of a commercial break, so that's why I gave a little bit talking about what's going to happen tomorrow. By a passing touchdown, and that passing touchdown was to, it was to Cardwell for 27 yards for a touchdown. It wasn't a passing touchdown; it was a rushing one. Jayden de Laura just ran for 9 yards. And then he threw an incomplete pass. This one was to Dejon Stribling. It's 3rd and 1 with 4:23 left. It's 3rd and 1, but and Jayden de Laura threw another pass. This one was complete to Dejon Stribling for 8 yards, and that is to Oregon 46 for a first down. So now 1st and 10 at Oregon 46. They have the own ball now. Now officially have entered into enemy territory. Scores currently 31-17 Oregon. Last touchdown was by their running back Byron Cardwell. Cardwell ran for 27 yards for a touchdown. And Jayden de Laura threw a pass, but this one was intercepted. Second interception of the day. This one was thrown to Brian Anderson, returned for 23 yards to Washington State 32. And I completely just jinxed the game because I told them that they should rely on their passing game, and this is what happens. It's not going to go well. Oregon's probably going to take the W on this. It's 3:53 left in the fourth. Oregon's next game after this is against Utah, currently ranked number 24, who just won today over against Arizona, while Washington State plays their next game against Arizona, which for both teams, it's going to be their last game of the second to last game of the season. Byron Cardwell ran for 5 yards to the Washington 27-yard line. And then ran again. They handed the ball off to Byron Cardwell again. This one was for another 2 to the Washington 25. The timeout is taken with 2:59 left in the fourth. Score is 31-17. Oregon is up, and they have the ball. Timeout is taken, and they have one. Washington has one timeout left. Oregon still has all their timeouts, but I don't think they're going to use any at this point. I mean, they might use one, depending on how play goes or anything. So anyway, with that timeout being in place, I'll go ahead and give my pick for the next game after that. Ben Roethlisberger has been put on the COVID list, and the quarterback after that is Mason Rudolph. So I don't think the Steelers are going to win. I said that on Monday, but Ben Roethlisberger has been put on COVID, so I think the Lions might get one, maybe 2 wins this season. Travis Day, they hand the ball off this time to Travis Day, or Travis Day, something like that. This one was for 2 yards to the Washington State 22. This one was a gain for a first down. It's now 31-17. I don't think, and probably going to get might get a lot of hate for saying this, but I don't think Oregon should be top 4. Well, I get a lot of hate for this. As Byron Cardwell again ran, this was the second rushing touchdown of the day. 22 yards and gets the touchdown. They are now up by 20 points late here in the fourth. The extra point was good by Ken Lewis. So they're actually up 38-17. with 2:07 left in the fourth. And gonna go ahead and continue on with the list of predictions. Colts play the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. There's not much to say about that. Colts win this one. Washington, I feel like, is going to score a lot of points when they play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they're gonna lose by 10. Well, I say lose by 10, but I think they're gonna lose by 14. Put up 4 touchdowns, put up like a 20 points, 28 points in this game. I feel like they're going to keep it close only because, hey, wild card round, it was a close game last year. And I get it. Taylor Heinicke, first game, we didn't really know who he was. But I just feel like Taylor Heinicke was close to beating him and maybe could be close to beating him again. Not quite beating him, but maybe close. New England, I feel like, is getting a bounce back to what they had earlier in the season. With Mac Jones starting there at quarterback, I don't think they're going to be Super Bowl worthy this year. But the way that they have been going, this for me is my game of the week. They play Cleveland Browns, no Odell Beckham Jr. because he's actually going to the Rams. As there's currently an injury on the play. Cameron Lewis kicked it off for 64 yards, the first down. Trevor Harris is returned to Oregon State 42, gets the first down, but there was a penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct. Vontae Dickerson to Washington State 39 is at the first down mark. While that goes on, and the hard time seeing who that was, that's actually the unsportsmanlike contact play ends up getting an injury. So they're actually it's been taken off the court. That's number 0 for Oregon. Couldn't quite see who that was though. Dion. So they hand the ball off to the running back number 3, Dion Mitch. What a gain. Good gain of 19 yards to Oregon 42, gets the first down. First and 10 at Oregon 42. Good gain of 19 on the play. They need a miracle to even stand a chance. As much as I wanted to get an upset, I'll go ahead and give a quick game break. San Diego State University, they're back up in the lead. They kicked the field goal to put them in the lead by 2. They're currently in the lead over Nevada 23-21. And Nevada has their own ball at their own 49. During the last play, Dion Much ran out to the sidelines and was hit on the sidelines as well. Stop was made by number 46. They're putting that play under review. This is now the fourth time that they've reviewed it. I'm sorry, I said number 46, but it was number 48. And there was a flag down on the play, but they haven't called a flag yet. Looks like they're going to hand the ball off to Mosh again, but he doesn't make it up to the line of scrimmage. So it's now second down, 2nd and 10. No loss, no gain. Clock is still counting down. They have one timeout left. I'm surprised that they haven't used it yet. This was actually thrown out in the air. Pass is caught. Pass is caught. That would be to Johnson. To Johnny Johnson. They hand the ball off to the running back again to Mach. And gets the first down. And Dan McFlotch has it, I'm sorry. Jaden DeLaura, he throws it up in the air, and this one was thrown over and complete. But there was a pass interference call. There was a team penalty for Dermott and Caleb. So there's actually two penalties on the play. This now goes down to the Oregon 2, first down. And Jaden De La Rosa threw us a pass. This time it's complete to Travel Hearns for 2 yards and gets the touchdown. Oregon is up on top. They are up winning 38-24. That looks like it's about to be the end of the game. And the extra point is good. So, 38-24. There's a couple more snaps left in the game. But that pretty much just wraps it up. Final score is 38-34. I noticed that for both teams, they pretty much play their rival to finish it off. Oregon playing Oregon State, or Washington State plays Washington. They're if say Oregon was up by 3, I would go with the onside kick, but they're going for the onside kick, and Oregon recovers it. That was a shocking move. Wow, I didn't expect that. It was not very far at all. And they take a knee. Clock's winding down, 3 seconds, 2, 1. And the game is over. Final score. Washington State loses to Oregon 38-24. One last thing before we wrap this up, and this is about the NFL. I have mentioned this. I've mentioned this before on the Football Frenzy, and I feel like that last week was a curse week. And what I mean by that is Buffalo Bills. This is now the 4th time where they were supposed to be favored to win. They were the favorites to win this game, and they were favorites by a long shot, by 15 points. They were favorites to beat Jacksonville, but they ended up losing. This was in the past, there were 3 other scenarios. Now, I can't remember what year they were, or what the point spread was in that. But Buffalo ended up being the favorites all 4 occasions. All 4 occasions, Buffalo lost. That being said, it is the only reason why I didn't think that this game was surprising. Now, going into next week, if Buffalo loses 2 in a row, that's going to be surprising to me. I don't think that's going to happen, though. Let's talk about Denver and Dallas. Denver has not lost to Dallas since 1995. So I have warned people, I don't care if you were if you think the Broncos are going to win or if you thought the Dallas Cowboys were going to win, do not bet on that game. Because especially if you were going for the Cowboys, obviously did not work out well. And then the last but certainly not least, was the Raiders and the Giants. Raiders struggle when to face on the road against the New York Giants. They have a lot in the past, especially since they were a West Coast team with the drama that they had. That was the one, all three of those games, I was wrong with my picks, but I didn't bet on them, and that they weren't surprising. Last week was the biggest reason why we play the game, why they play the game of football. We can guarantee, we can make sure, we can guarantee that these picks are predictions, but any given game out there, especially with football, I don't feel like it happens much, obviously, because, baseball, hockey, basketball, those happen a little bit more because there's more games. But I feel like any given game out there can mean a little bit more. I'm going to close this off. This has been Nate the Great signing out. And see you guys next Saturday.